Good morning, class. Today we are here to learn about zoo-archaeology. Zoo-archaeology is a study of animal remains from archaeological contexts. The point of zoo-archaeology is to help us figure out the human diets of the past, how the animals impacted economics, and the condition of the environment of that time period. In simple terms, it helps us figure out the diets, cultural practices, and the relationship between humans and animals. The first step in zoo-archaeology is to collect, clear, sort, identify, and measure the animal remains. After you finish the first step, it's time to observe the remains you found. Be sure you look for any cuts, burns, or residue in the vessels. This helps you decide what the animal was used for. The next process is trying to figure out how many species are in each site. There are two ways to do that, MNI and NISP. MNI, or minimal number of individuals, is the smallest number of animals necessary to account for all of the bones. Say you have a pile of 7 bones. There are 2 deer skulls and then 5 other bones. Your MNI would be 2 because you have 2 skulls from different animals. That is a simple example of MNI. NISP, or number of individual specimen, is all the possible animals found at the site, or the number of bones from each species. An example of NISP would be having a pile of bones and finding 15 pig bones and 4 clamshell pieces. Lastly, we will talk about domestication. This is a very important part of zoo-archaeology. Some ways to decide if an animal is domesticated or not is if there is human interference with natural breeding habits, how the animal died, changes in physical characteristics, bones and teeth, size changes in the population, and diseases. Now that I've said so much about zoo-archaeology, can someone tell me one cool thing you learned? I can. Zoo-archaeology is basically trying to figure out how our past ancestors lived by using animal bones. Very good. Thank you for joining me.